My good friend Jack Penny has made his life's work out of chasing giant northern pike on the North American continent. So what do you do when Jack says, this is one of my favorite pike fisheries for big fish and lots of them? You go. So that's why we're here. We're at Lac la Marte Lodge on Lac la Marte Lake. It's an awesome pike fishery and it's a tremendous place for a father and son trip. Big pike, lots of them. So I told my dad to wear his very best.
And we'll show you the next bite.
I'm just looking for the next bite. I'm just looking for the next bite. I'm just looking for the next bite. I'm just looking for some fish with teeth. Fish with teeth.
Keith Cavallez, Gary Parsons, and Pete Maina live to fish. But certain fish really throw these guys over the edge. Walleye, muskie, northern pike, fish with teeth. Countless days spent on the water have turned these guys into fishing machines with an eagerness to teach people how to catch more fish. So if you are ready to become a better fisherman, join Keith, Pete, and Gary on their quest for the next bite.
I'm just looking for the next bite.
125 miles yet north of the Northwest Territories capital of Yellowknife, an abundant lake trout destination, Lac la Marte is indeed a very special fishery. It also features some extraordinary sight fishing opportunities for monster northern pike.
Well, let's go get them, Deb. Okay.
Thanks to its crystal clear waters, which gives our crew a front seat to some pretty amazing views.
A little one.
But even if the constant action proves challenging to keep up with at first.
Oh, dude. If we would have had the camera over the side of the boat.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Was that awesome? Boy, you want to talk about a in-your-face strike.
But Esox expert Pete Maina soon gets his wish as one of our cameras captures a northern pike murdering his spinnerbait, faithfully demonstrating why pike are some of the hardest hitting fish in fresh water.
That's a dandy. Wow.
Of course, sometimes, even in lieu of all this visible action,
Get him back. Yeah, just the power of that fish when it hit. And he's out of there.
it's what we cannot see that can often be even more exciting.
That one actually jumped out of the water.
You aren't kidding. Now you get a fish that big and someone's trying to eat it.
Wonder what that was.
There's scary stuff out there. You never know what you're going to see in the rearview mirror around here.
And while these populations of pike are for the most part largely uneducated, the extremely cold water and shorter growing season means an overall slower growth pattern. But thanks to the protective efforts of Lac la Marte Adventures, allowing 100 fishermen or less annually to visit these pristine waters and promoting a catch and release system combined with the Northwest Territories barbless hook enforcement.
Yeah. Look at them laying there. That's
Isn't
pretty
that cool? Got to pinch the barbs.
These pike are continuing to be both abundant and reaching for their full potential when it comes to size.
Well, there he is.
Yeah.
What a battle.
A little worse for wear, huh?
Yeah, he's a little embarrassed, but
That'll fix you.
this body of water up here is huge, and a lot of these pike waters are. And the other thing that occurs, especially when you're fishing here right after ice out like we are, you're in these spawning areas. Because the lake's big, the spawning areas are also big. There's some pretty massive areas right here. In fact, where we are right now is pretty intimidating. Lots of water. Part of the reason we come here is because there's a lot of fish in this water. They're fairly uneducated, but of course you want to catch the bigger ones. So one thing that you really want to do is concentrate on patterning where those big fish are in a couple of ways. First thing, just just notice wherever you start bumping into big fish, where there's one, there's usually more. Pay attention to that and remember that spot for later should you come back. And then the other thing you start wanting to do is kind of try and pattern where these bigger fish are, maybe structurally. It could be a lot of different things. It might be lily pads, could be weeds, could be drop-offs. Generally, those bigger fish are going to be associated to some type of a drop-off situation. But again, possibly rock, possibly real dark mud. Sometimes you'll get way in the back of some of these bays and the fish will actually be relating, those bigger fish will be relating to the darkest mud you might find in a bay. So that's the basics of it. Pattern a big fish spot for coming back later in that particular bay because there's probably going to be big fish there again, and also try and pattern the type of structure and water depth that's drawing those bigger fish in a massive bay like this.
The next bite is presented by Mercury, Amsoil, the first in synthetics, Tracker Boats, fish the finest, Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here, Berkeley, catch more fish, and Motor Guide, never stop.
Well, Jack, for several decades now, you've made it your project to be chasing big northern pike all over North America. This is one of your favorite fisheries. It's a clear water fishery. How do you prep for this trip?
Well, I'll tell you, fish in clear water lakes rely on their sight more than any other sense. I like to use natural colors, like my spoons, brown pike or a green pike, a walleye color, a Cisco whitefish.
Okay.
You know, nice, it looks natural, like something that'd be in the water. Soft plastics, looks great in the water, it's natural, it swims. All these are basically for active fish. Now you're gonna go out and see fish on the bottom that won't respond to those kind of lures. When that comes up, you cannot beat a fly. They just can't resist that fur. When they're just laying there, that thing drifts down, they've got it.
Lac la Marte isn't just about the potential for catching massive northern pike, although they are certainly here.
Beautiful fish.
Because perhaps what might be even more alluring yet is that this Northwest Territories near-Arctic fishery presents Pete, Tex, and Jack the opportunity to boat a very rare color mutation of northern pike.
Is that a blue pike already?
Whatever it is, it's a little different color.
These pike are rare. In fact, in 35 years and countless numbers of miles chasing big pike, Esox Lucious expert Jack Penny has only seen 7 of these fish he considered to be true silver or blue pike. So it is really very special when the water you're on can offer up the chance to combine both numbers.
That's what this is. We saw about 6 of them here.
If there's such a thing as a blue pike, that sure looks like it, don't it?
And size.
Man, that's a big one.
When it comes to this truly unique variation of northern pike.
It's one of those blue ones, man.
That is a blue one, yeah, it is. Sure, look at it. It don't have no spots or nothing.
Boy, that thing's 45 inches long, I bet.
Yeah, that is a beauty.
God. See if we can get a hold of them, Dad.
Yeah, let's see if I can get the...
We need to get a picture of that one.
Okay.
And that is definitely one of those blue pike.
Boy, that is a beauty.
Nice fish, Dad. Show me that yapper. That's a big blue pike. That's the biggest I've seen, I mean, by far.
The Real Deal. Real fishing information from real fishing experts. Presented by Amsoil.
I do a lot of tips on boats and motors, rods and reels, lures and tackle. But I tell you, the first piece of equipment I take on every trip is my truck. And I'm no mechanical or automotive expert, but I can tell you since switching to Amsoil, I've seen some real improvements in my truck's performance. First thing is, I know it gets better gas mileage. Just the savings at the pump alone is great for me. Second thing is, especially in cold weather, it just really seems to start right up. Just jumps right to life. The last thing, and probably the most important thing though for me, is oil change intervals. The product that I use for this truck is actually rated for 25,000 mile intervals, but because I use it for heavy duty use, mostly towing a boat, I do switch it about every 15,000 miles. Now that's a big improvement over the 3,000 to 5,000 miles I used to switch my truck oils. Now one thing about AMSOIL is a lot of people think it's kind of hard to find in stores, and that's because most of it is distributed by local AMSOIL dealers. The cool thing is that their website is going to really help you out with this. First of all, just go to the AMSOIL website and put in the type of vehicle that you're driving. It will give you recommendations on the type of oil, the filters, and all the other lubrications that you can put into that vehicle. Secondly, then, you can also go to their dealer finder, simply type in your zip code, and it will give you several locations where you can get AMSOIL. Now, the cool thing is that a lot of these are just small mom and pop places, small automotive shops, and they're going to really be able to help you out with personal service to get the right product for your vehicle.
One of the reasons we travel all the way up here is that there's just tons of fish. I mean, it's tremendous fishing. You get a good guide to take you to the right parts of the lake, and there's a lot of fish of all different sizes. But the interesting thing is, even though these fish are relatively uneducated, they're still fish, and fish are moody. And today, actually, the fish are fairly moody. So what we're doing, you know, the bite can be a little tough. What we're doing is we're coming into these areas at first, and we're going with more action type presentations, spinner baits, you know, stuff that move fast. What you'll find is that you can come in and kind of catch some of the fish in the area that are more active. But the reality is, and especially today, you're usually able to come back through a good area and catch more of those fish. All you want to go with is a little more in your face presentations, like this little eel bait here, soft plastic, something that moves pretty slow, darts around, twitches and wiggles a little bit. And then what we found really is kind of the ultimate finesse bait when nothing else is working. Really neat if you can actually see the fish just laying there, is that fly, that bunny fly. Boy, if you can get that bait in, you can literally get it right up on top of that fish, let it drop to them. If that fish moves, makes any kind of movement at all, that it recognizes that fly, then just start stripping a little bit, and you're usually going to get a hit. But that's what you got to do. Go in here, look for the active fish first, but when they're in a negative mood, slow everything way down, keep it right in their face, and you're going to get more fish.
After scrambling off the water to escape the clutches of a nasty storm front, the next day the skies over Lac la Marte are clear, and as Pete mentioned, the pike are a bit moody.
Come on. Oh man, it's like laying right on them. That's a shame. I think we had them spooked already.
However, anticipating wanting to bust out a fly rod setup anyhow at some point during the trip, before taking off from the States, Pete was able to hook up with friend, Mustad rep, and fly fishing expert Jeff Pierce for a complete list of gear. And even though it's a technique that arguably takes a lifetime to perfect for anyone,
getting cocky already, had to try the fly rod. That wasn't too bad a one, actually.
which can even be part of its appeal, it is also a lot of fun.
Come on.
And Pete knows this is exactly the type of in-your-face approach that these big pike could sink their teeth into.
That fly, he's not
Oh,
really...
he's there.
Oh, there. Hey, he's got one on the fly rod. Fly fishing Maina. Huh? What do you think about that, Debs?
That's a stupid fish.
Your
That's
son
what I
the
think
fly
about.
fisherman. What do you mean, stupid fish? Now I need a fly fishing vest. I need more flies. Look at you, fish. You have no idea how significant that bite. It may just seem like the next bite to you, but this is a big bite for me. Little bitty fly rod, a funny little reel with no brakes on it or anything. Weird deal. Mwah. Nice job.
It still may be somewhat of a foreign approach, but it is working.
He's gonna eat it. Number 2 on the fly.
That's a pretty nice one.
Yeah, boy, he come out of nowhere too.
And pretty soon, having only one fly in the water simply isn't enough for Pete.
Oh man, well, Dad, that's the challenge now. This is number 2 on the fly for your son. So that means you're gonna have to learn how to fly fish.
Ooh.
So with some initial guidance from his son,
Hey, he's coming.
There he's coming again.
Okay, now strip it. Do you know what stripping means?
No.
Or just, okay, well,
Move it
go
fast?
faster. Go. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's all you need to do is go.
Speed
Here,
up.
Let
Okay.
me show you stripping. See what I'm doing here?
Okay.
Just as.
So if you want to move it faster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try and whip one out there as far as you can, and then let it sink and bring him back. We got to get this fish. I mean, he's a. Oh, there you go. That should be good. Now let that sink. God.
It doesn't take Tex too long before he catches on enough to start getting dangerous.
Go on. Move it a little quicker, maybe. Keep it going. He's got it. He's got it.
That was good, huh?
Hey, fly man. That was fun to watch. But that's what's really interesting, though. I mean, these fish are finicky right now. Those flies are making a difference because he just passed on that tube, passed on the spinnerbait. I got him out, and there's your first fly.
Yes.
Northern Pike. Quite an accomplishment. Everybody's going to be so proud.
Yes. I'm proud of myself already.
Leading information on tackle and techniques to make you a better fisherman. Presented by Mercury.
For years, Mercury Marine has been an industry leader in propellers for outboards. In the 14 to 18 foot boat category, the Black Max Mercury propeller, which is aluminum, has been a staple for that category. This new Spitfire prop from Mercury changes the game. The Spitfire is a 4-blade aluminum prop that gives you high performance in an economical package, and it's all made possible by its revolutionary design.
So, what's so revolutionary about the new Spitfire prop? Well, the best way for me to explain that is to actually compare it to the industry standard Black Max aluminum prop. The first thing you're going to notice is that the diameter of this prop is smaller. The prop can spin up faster and give you that good acceleration and hole shot. The second thing to look at is the actual blade design between the two. The first thing on the Spitfire is you'll see it has a straight trailing edge and real aggressive cupping. And what that allows this prop to do is literally grab the water. So you'll see that on the hole shot again. But another important place is if you've got this engine trimmed up and you're making a fairly sharp turn, this prop will not blow out and it's going to keep holding that water. The cool thing about this prop is you're going to be able to use it on a wide range of boats, all the way down to a 25 horse and all the way up to 125 horse. You'll also have 3 different sizes for your pontoon boats. So a really high performance prop, and I tell you what, I'm excited to get out on the water and see how it works.
That was kind of fun. What we did is we put the 3 of us in this boat, went out with the Black Max prop, got a feel for the boat, kind of timed the hole shot actually, and took it through its paces. Went back to shore, switched props to the new Spitfire, and when we went out, we did the same thing, and it was an amazing difference. The hole shot was a lot faster. In fact, a couple seconds is what we shaved off the time. The acceleration through the hole shot was markedly different. All 3 of us agreed that it was much faster and much more acceleration. Then we put it through some real sharp turns, and the holding ability of this prop was nothing short of amazing. So you combine all those factors and you have a fantastic prop. If you have a boat that you want to upgrade and get more performance out of your motor, this is the perfect prop for that. Also, let's say if you are getting a new rig, it's a very affordable way to get that extra performance. So Mercury has combined technology to bring us a very affordable product that'll make our boating pleasure a lot better.
Numbers, size, and even some rare colors and size
Boy, that is a beauty.
kept Pete Maina, his father Tex Maina, and pike expert Jack Pinney, along with their assortment of lures, quite busy on this Northwest Territories pike adventure.
The home of the 50-pounder.
And while sight fishing these crystal clear waters may have afforded Pete and his crew the opportunity to showcase more strikes than usual,
I mean, man, to watch that, I mean, it was just coming so determined, you know, and I was like, are you going to run out of room? And then all of a sudden it just, whoa.
nothing else really says finale Maina style
There we go, Dad, big one. Oh, look at that, jeez.
quite like a monster pike.
Look at the bolt on that thing. Beautiful fish. Yeah, get in nice and tight there. Man, I'll tell you what, look at the head on that thing, Dad. Wow. Gotta get that bait out.
How much does that one weigh, Pete?
I'll tell you what, it's got to weigh 25 pounds, Dad. It is just head. I mean, when I saw that thing hit, I was like, man. Yeah, we better get her back in. Man, that is a big old fish, huh, Dad?
Yes, it is.
Gonna put on out. Man, is that neat. Wow. Talk about a hit.
I didn't see it. I was looking the other way.
Overtook it, you know, swimming right towards me. It was neat.
And we'll show you the next bite.
Just so there. We're gonna show you the next bite. Right, Dad?
Didn't I just do that?
Yeah. Oh, Ricky, what a pity, can't you understand? Come on. How can you get through there? I know.
You're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt or you're dead.
This sissy fly equipment. I don't even know if I got this handle on the right side. Oh, man, this wind. The good news is my fly is now dragging out behind the boat about 80 feet, so I can possibly get a strike.
The only lodge on this beautiful 1,000 square mile lake, Lac la Marte Adventures truly provides a trophy fishing adventure of a lifetime. To learn more about this fishery or answers to questions on travel, visit nwtfishing.com.